All right, this week in the Week 6 lab, we've got a number of questions. This is actually a fun lab. The first question is a real simple question that doesn't require any use of Minitab or Excel or anything else. It just asks, when rolling a die, is this an example of a discrete or continuous random variable? Think about that. Can you roll a 1.625, 4, 3? You can't roll anything but a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4 on a 4-sided die. And on a 6-sided die, you can only roll a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, or a 6. So that should answer that question very quickly. Things like temperatures and volumes and heights and weights that you can say 3.256 that you can cut up infinitesimally, those are continuous. But things like people and things like cans of soda or things like that are actually discrete. So this die can only be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 in your lab. I think I've answered that one for you. Then the second question this week is a good question. What they want you to do is calculate the mean and standard deviation of the probability distribution created by rolling a 6-sided die. Now, this is not using the data. This is using a formula. I'm going to do it using a 4-sided die. I want you to remember what the formula for the mean is. I'm going to see if I can paste it over here in Excel. There we go. The mean is equal to the sum of x times the probability of x. Let's pretend we're dealing with a 4-sided die here. 4-sided die. And what could the values of x be? It could be either a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4. I've got a picture of this die over here. I love dice. And then the probability of x for each one of these is, there's 4 sides, so it's going to be 1/4. In Excel, I'm going to say equals 1 divided by 4. I put equals because, you know, with fractions, it will use the full accuracy there. So I say equals 1 divided by 4. Of course, it's going to be 0.25 for each of these. Equals 1 divided by 4 equals 1 divided by 4. And then I'm going to, just like the formula says, I'm going to sum all of those up. So equals the sum. I'm going to use Excel to do this. Double click where it says sum. I'm going to sum x times p of x. So I tell you what. Let's back up on this. Let's back up. Let's go ahead out here on the side. I said I was going to do this. Rather than do one full calculation, let's go ahead and put another column where I say x times p of x. And it'll make it a lot easier. You don't have to do this. You can do this on your hand calculator. But, all right, so equals this 1 times, in Excel it's an asterisk, times 0.25. This is going to be easier. Now I can just copy that cell and paste it down through here. Look what we have. 1 times 0.25 is 0.25. 2 times 0.25 is 0.5. 3 times 0.25 is 0.75. 4. Now that's easier. Now let's just sum this column, and we'll have the sum of all the xpx's. So I get a 2.5. I'm going to put another parentheses there because I'm kind of a stickler on things like that. I needed another one. So the mean is equal to x times p of x. So on a 4-sided die, it's 2.5. Think about that. Think about the smallest number I can roll is a 1. The largest number I can roll is a 4. 1 plus 4 is 5. If I divided 5 by 2, I would get 2.5. A lot of people want to say, well, the average is 2. It's not. The mean of a 4-sided die is 2.5. I'm going to make that a nifty little color there. Let's make it green. Now, I think the next one asks us for the standard deviation. Is that number? No, it's still on number 2. The standard deviation of a two-sided or of a four-sided die, the calculation is a bit tedious, but it's not too bad. I'm going to make another column. Let's make this kind of bigger. So I've got these, and out here I'm going to say x minus the mean. I'm just going to type the word mean. So in other words, for mine, I'm going to say this is equal to this x minus, I'm going to type in 2.5, oops, because that is my mean. And that way I can just copy this, Control C, and paste all those down. So 1 minus 2.5, 2 minus 2.5, 3 minus 2.5. And then out here, what we have to do next is we've got to square that value, x minus the mean squared. And you don't have to do like I'm doing this in Excel. I just like to show you. So all this is going to be is equal to this number raised Shift 6 to the second power. All right, I'm going to copy this, Control C, and paste it down through here. Now I've got the value there. So let's see if we can put the formula up here. I'm going to use this paste, but I'm going to change it. Standard deviation is equal to the square root, don't forget it's the square root, of x, let's see, it's the sum. I'm going to have to copy this right here. Control C. Let's put it in here. The sum of x minus the mean squared times the probability of x. I think that's got it all. I may need to put some more parentheses in here to make it come out right. Yeah, sum of x. Yeah, that's good. The square root. Well, let's put one more set of parentheses. There we go. And that's just the formula. And don't let that get you confused. All right, I've got x, the probability of x. X times the probability of x for each one. Sum them up. There is my mean. Okay. I'm going to type the word is. I like to do it that way. The mean is 2.5. And then I say x minus the mean for each value of x. Then I square that. And then Control C. I'm going to paste that here because I'm going to say times, I'm going to put an asterisk, times the probability of x. Okay. Hit enter, and I'm going to make this column a little bigger. Now, so I'm going to say equals this number, x minus the mean squared, times the probability of x, which is right here. It's that 0.25 for each of them. So I'm going to say Control C, paste, and then I'm going to take all of these and I'm going to sum. This would actually be the variance. They're not asking for the variance. The variance will be the sum of these equals sum of all of these numbers. All right, there is the variance. So the standard deviation, let's abbreviate it, standard deviation is, it will be the square root of the variance. So I say equals SQRT, right there it is, square root. I want the square root of that number. Boom. So the variance is 1.11803, whatever. I'm going to make that green. It's not that hard, all right? We've got the mean. We've got the standard deviation. Easy to do, a little tedious. Some folks prefer doing this on the calculator. I like doing it in Excel and play around with it. Because like with yours, instead of having 1.25, you're going to have 1, whatever, equals 1/6, 2, 1/6, 3, 1/6, 4, 1/6, 5, 1/6, 6, 1/6. And then, your numbers will be different, but it'll be the same routine there. So hopefully this helps you out with that one.